Yeah, welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. Number Saturday Night Live number 76. Yes, we're almost to 100 episodes. Yes. Today we got a good show. Well, an interesting show. Last week I had in studio a fellow droner from Dillon, Colorado, come in. First time I had a guest in studio, and after the show, we went over to Lake Arbor to fly our drones. So we we went over to Lake Arbor. Yeah, he brought his Mavic Air too, and I had my Mavic Air. We wanted to compare and contrast the two different drones. Well, I got my Mavic Air up, and we wanted to compare the noise because the Mavic Air, the original one, is notorious for being noisy. So I got that up, and what I did is I flew the length of the lake, came back using the return to home, and it was acting kind of weird. So what I did is I stopped the return to home, and I knew I was over land, and I was talking to Sean Oz of the Sean Oz channel. And he was showing me how to open up the map app that's in the lower left-hand corner. How you get blow that up and see where your drone is located in case you lost line of sight of the drone. And so I handed him the controls, and he was bringing the drone in, and it crashed into the lake. What had happened was, well, because he's so familiar with the Mavic Air 2, that they use the Go Fly app, and I use the Go 4 app. Now, DJI did something a little different. They reversed the altitude and range in the app. So he thought 300 feet, 300 plus feet was the altitude, and 10 feet was the distance away. So he brought it back, and it landed in the lake about 15 or 20 feet from shore. Now, I do have the photos of where it landed. The sucky part about it is the lake is so murky. The water is, let's see if it's probably about 3 feet high. So it's right up to here on me, and it's up to up to the waist of Sean. So it's there was a fisherman right there, and Sean gave him his card, and the guy saw the drone crash into the lake. So that guy was actually out there waiting around trying to find the drone. So the next day, I went back out there, and I got my fishing gear out, and I got a treble hook, the biggest one I had, with a heavy weight on. So I cast it out past and tried to snag it with no luck. And I ended up losing the hook, put another one on and did the same thing, ended up losing that one too. And I said, the heck with it. Sean is coming down tomorrow. Now, this shows you what a stand-up guy he is. he felt so bad about what had happened was he's given me his Autel Evo, which is actually an upgrade from the Mavic Air because, well, it uses a similar communications that the OcuSync uses. It's similar to OcuSync rather than using Wi-Fi, which is much better and much more stable than the Wi-Fi. Because here's what I've been having with the Mavic Air. The Mavic Air, I keep getting a signal loss error message, and every time I fly it, I get a little nervous because I'll be flying out somewhere and I'll get this message, interference signal loss. I'm like, oh, geez. And I can see it where it is. And I look on the map. It's not flying away. It's staying where it is. And on the camera, I can see what it sees, and I know it's not flying away anywhere, and I know it's not crashing. I'm still getting a video feed, so I feel a little more at ease about it. So that's a big upgrade, and it's got a 4K camera, and I think it's a 4K 60 frames, or it might still be 30 frames. Now with the Mavic Air, it's 4K as well. It gets really good video and photo, and I really like it. So I'm kind of anxious to get this drone. Now I'm getting one battery, but I'm also getting another battery. I'll get the charger, the controller. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I will sell the batteries and the controllers and the hard shell case that I have for the Mavic Air. I think I'll sell that on either eBay or on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. Get a few bucks for that and use it for accessories for the Autel Evo. And I also have the controller and some extra accessories and batteries for the Phantom 3 that I lost almost a year ago. So I'll sell that, get enough money, and we'll see how I like the Autel Evo, where I could eventually maybe sell it and get the Mavic Air too. Now, Sean was really cool to let me fly his Mavic Air too, and it is really impressive. It handles really nice. It's very responsive. It doesn't have that jitteriness that you get with the Mavic Air because it's using Wi-Fi, and it looks like it kind of moves a little jerky. But when you get the video, you don't see all that. So, and it's very responsive going up. So I like that. And I kind of like having the phone on top, where on the Mavic Air, it's like the old Mavic Pros and the Pro 2, where you have the camera down below the controller. So that's interesting. I also want to, on the Autel Evo, I want to get the feel for it to where You could move the camera up and down if the controllers are in the same place. So that'll be interesting to fly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say hello to all the folks that are in the chat. JDS Flying Canuck, welcome to the show. Rick Halbert, Mitch, old guy on the drone, Tomas, Brandon Nunley, GFO Drones and Tech Guy, and who else do we have? Steve Mack. Hello, Steve. And Rick Halbert, welcome. Jody Drone Shots, Agent K Video. We finally figured out what that Cyrillic stuff. It's video. And let's see, Steve Mack and so Brandon Rain, welcome. So we got a good group here. So without further ado, let's bring up our first panelist, the one and only, all the way from sunny Florida. Let's give a hand to Mitch, old guy and a drone.
Hey, Art. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Can you hear me okay? How's everything sound? My audio okay?
You sound great. You sound
good.
Great.
Okay.
And I like your library and
yeah.
Monkey, yeah.
Got the monkey out just for the occasion. Yeah. So that's quite a story you just told. I waited to come on listening to your story so as not to interrupt you.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I went out fishing today, so I'm a bit tired. So I'm feeling better now that I had a really nice long nap after lunch. Caught a couple carp or gefilte fish for you, Mitch.
I haven't had that in years.
I'd be willing to try it, but I've heard the stories about it, and gelatinous fish just does not.
Well, the fish isn't gelatinous. The fish has the consistency of like a soft burger.
Oh, okay.
It's just like ground meat. The gelatinous stuff is the fact that they make a fish gelatin kind of sauce that they pack it in the jar.
Okay, now that
I'm not crazy about either the texture of that or the taste, but I find that if you pull the little burger thing out of gefilte fish out of the jar and get a quick rinse under the cold water, it washes all that goo off of it.
Oh,
and
good.
That's how I eat it. So if you're going to try it, you ought to, because it's really good stuff.
One of these days I will, and if I'm ever at your place, you could give me a little try of it.
I haven't. Like I say, I haven't had it in years. I can't remember because where I shop, they don't sell it. It's kind of a specialty item, and of course, being a specialty item, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So I have to go. Publix carries it, but I don't shop at Publix. I shop at Aldi's because it's cheap.
I have a friend down in Pueblo. He smokes it. He smokes carp.
Carp. Well, that's the main ingredient in gefilte. The word gefilte means chopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just means chopped up.
Mm-hmm. All right. I guess hopefully JDS will give me a little kickback for this. Save money rebuilding your port. So is that my new sponsor, JDS?
Hey, it's nice. You got a sponsor. How about
that? Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe Enstrom Candies will be a sponsor of the show. That'd be nice.
I thought they were already. I thought that with all the candy you keep giving away, I figured they were giving it to you.
Well, they do help me out during holidays where I could give some really nice prizes, like the 1 pound box of toffee. And people really like. And Steve Mack just finally got the toffee that I sent him. How long ago was that? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know, but it took 1 month to get. Oh man, well, I'm glad you like it, Steve. I mean, it.
I went to Canada.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, no wonder. Yeah, takes 2 days to get there, and it sits in customs for a month.
Yeah. Mhm. Well, Brent Nunley, where are you, Brent? Are you here in the States? If you're here in the States, maybe you'll be lucky and be a winner of this week's prize. But if you live in outside the United States, well, too bad.
Looks like
Yeah,
you got
that's
a lot
right,
of
Steve.
you got a lot of competition tonight, Art. Here, I was waiting for you stopped talking, and just as soon as I said okay, he's not saying anything, I chimed in, and exactly at the same time you started talking. So I didn't mean to step on you, but you've got a lot of competition tonight with live
Yeah, I
streams.
noticed that.
All I've been getting is notification after notification about going live and going live. So you've picked a very popular time spot. So it's like a double-edged sword. I go on Thursday night at 6 and nobody else is on at 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. But nobody's around. Hardly anybody's around at that time to be able to watch it. They're all eating dinner on the way home from work, and
Right.
so I don't think you can win. And I think what's happening is more and more YouTubers who are trying to get monetized and build watch time have awakened to the fact that the only way you can possibly do that, unless you have 100,000 subscribers, is with live streams.
Right.
You can't get that kind of watch time on a 5-minute video, not unless you
Oh,
have
okay.
thousands and thousands and thousands of views.
Brent Nunley says he's in Arkansas, not far from Roosevelt. Flying that.
Brent's. I knew he was up from there, in there somewhere.
And Mel lives out that way too. So
Rick Halbert reminds me that my monkey's not wearing a mask, and neither am I.
well, here in Colorado, it's mandatory now. The governor just made an announcement the other day, and it's good for a month. I'm like, every time we get close to the end of one of his mandates, he jumps in and says, I'm going to do, I am King Polis. It's good to be governor. I can do executive orders. I have a phone and I have a pen.
Yeah. They
Phone pen.
Florida, the cases in Florida have been going crazy. In fact, I think we're probably leading the country, and yet we still don't have a statewide mandate.
Well,
we have a lot of local cities
Right.
have put out mandates, and it's
Right.
kind of like a gun carry permit. You go across the street, and all the laws are different. You got to be very careful what you do. The big battle going on right now is whether to send the kids back to school next month.
Same here.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And it you know what? It amazes me how absolutely split this country is. I mean, split. It is I always thought it was bad.
Yeah.
But how can two different groups of people look at the same situation with the same set of facts and go in completely 180-degree directions in what they want? It reminds me of being married. You say white, she says black. You say black, she says whatever a Republican comes up with. The Democrats are outraged.
Outrage. Yeah.
Outraged. Democrats. I've seen that headline so many times. Democrats are outraged.
Yeah. President cures cancer. Democrats outraged.
Outraged. Yeah. Outraged.
Well, hey, I
And
want to say hello to a new person to my show, DJ Grady, Anubis Arts. You always see him over at Ken's show. Welcome, welcome, TJ. And Mike Roach is here. So, all right.
yeah,
Cool.
Rick Halber's here too.
Yeah, Rick
Did you
Halbert.
catch Rick? Yeah, Rick is in the house. Hey, Rick finally got his Velocidrone working.
Oh, great, great.
He emailed. So tomorrow night, Art, I think everybody's probably ready to, maybe we can actually do a group group thing on Velocidrone. But Rick was having the weirdest problem, and he got it all installed, and every time, they have the license, you have to buy the license, and then you have
Right.
to log in. So every
Right.
time he tried to log in, it would tell him his password was no good.
Huh.
And he kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it, and he kept emailing me, and I emailed him back, and it just was ridiculous. And today I get an email from Rick, and it said, "I got it working." He tried a different browser.
Oh,
He
yeah.
went to Google when he tried to use Google to log in. He used Google Chrome instead of whatever browser, and it went right through. So how do you figure stuff like that out?
Well, when I fly Velocidrone, I'm not using a browser.
No, but when the first time you install the program,
Oh,
you
okay.
have to. It takes you to their website
That's right. That's right.
to have an account and log in. And that was my first thought too. I said, why did you need a different browser? Velocidrone is a program. But then it dawned on me that he was having the problems when he was trying to log in, and
Right. Right. Right.
that's
Right.
what it was. So he's finally got that working.
And I want to say hello to Tomas Ariels, all the way from Ireland.
Tomas O'Sullivan.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So where's the rest of the panelists tonight, Art? Everybody
I-
taking Saturday night off
A
here.
whole bunch of notices out. Maybe Jim will jump in a little later. I sent him a notice both on Facebook and in an email. Mel, I sent him both email and Facebook. So Chris Hope, maybe he'll pop in a little later. He's probably out feeding the cows or something. We're getting another really nice sunset. Well, that'd be a couple more hours from now. So,
Yeah, all we have here is it rained like hell today. We hadn't had any rain during the day. In fact, it was a great week for flying. I managed to get out almost every morning
right.
this week. But by 9:30, 10 o'clock, the wind starts picking up, and mid to late afternoon, we get the sea breezes
Right.
coming from both coasts, and where they meet, you get storms. So sometimes you get storms closer to the East Coast, sometimes closer to the West
Yeah.
Coast, but typical Florida summertime weather. But the temperatures
Yeah.
have been in the 90s, low 90s,
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah. You get the breezes from the coast and they meet in the middle, that warm, moist air that hits that cooler air over the land, and then it turns into storm. It's
Oh, yeah.
sort of similar here to in Colorado. If we get it depends on where the cold front's coming through. If we get an easterly wind, because what it does is it pushes the warm air up the mountains and it cools off and it turns into rain. And in the wintertime, then we get snow.
Rick Halber says I need to get my controller set up for the sim now.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
another
Well,
okay, Rick.
Yeah, we'll get
We'll-
you
Tomorrow night, Rick. We'll
yeah,
get that set up. That should be pretty straightforward.
And I want to say hello to Jen's channel. I think all the way from the Philippines is here. And Philip Koshat.
Oh my God!
I wish I
You
had.
don't even have the sound effect for him like Ken
Yeah,
does. He's a star, Philip. You're a star. You're famous
yeah, you
from the
are.
Ken Heron show.
Yeah. So yeah, we got two guys from Ken Heron show, Anubis Arts and Philip
Yeah,
Koshat.
I got this. Is that
There
close
you
enough?
go.
Okay, all right.
That's good. All right, there. That was just for you, Philip. So, Jen, where in the Philippines are you from? What island are you? Mindanao? Are you Cebu? Are you Negros, Bohol, or Luzon? Those are the main islands. And then there's Mindoro, which is a small island off just south of Luzon. Beautiful, beautiful island. Uh, I don't think I'll be going to Mindoro next time around. If I do, I'm gonna be the big adventurer. I'm going to go all the way to the southern part of the country down to Mindanao. I'll be going to Davao City to go see my goddaughter there, my little cutie Arabella. She's 2 years old now. I like.
Did you see where Rick Halber says, "Is Lloyd here?" That's the sound effect. That sound effect was in honor of Lloyd.
Yeah, yeah. Lloyd Saturdays in uh, his day off from YouTube, kind of like what Rodney does. He doesn't well because this time he's doing something with his wife. Probably going out to dinner. I think it's movie night, so they're probably watching uh, movies. Oh, Jen says she's from Bohol. Oh, that is another island I want to go to. Bohol is the home of the chocolate mountains because the way they're shaped, they look like Hershey Kisses. It's a beautiful island, and that's where you find tarsiers. You know what those are, don't you, Mitch?
Yeah, they're FPV cameras.
No, they're little tiny primates with the great big eyes.
Yeah,
Cute little
that's
things.
why they named the camera the
Uh-huh.
Tarsier, because it has two lenses right next to each other, and it looks like a tiny little camera with two big eyes.
Ah, okay. hmm And it is right next to the island of Cebu. Cebu, which has an interesting history, was actually the capital of the Philippines when the Spanish were there in the early days, and then later on, Manila became the capital of the Philippines. Hey, we got Glenn Thunderbird 6. So we're getting all the guys from all the different channels coming in. So
Yeah, you're starting to get some people.
Ed's got his show. Oh, I even sent a link to Kelly Shores. He's probably doing something. So he's a busy guy. So that's the cool thing about this channel. It's worldwide. I get people all over. Hey, Tater!
Tater,
Hey, hello, Tater. Boy,
Tater, the world champion
yeah.
in foreign. Name that tune.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
All you have to do is listen to the melody, and that's the giveaway for the song.
Yeah,
You
it's
listen to
easy.
the melody.
Yeah, Tater will tell you. Easy to say how easy it is, but when you're there on the spot, It's not easy.
Well, I know. I mean, he's a real pro at it. He has his hands on his ears and he's listening
Yeah.
intently. And not only was he getting the song, but he was getting the language.
The language, it turned out, was worth more points than getting the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that can be harder to kind of figure out where it is, because a lot of those Asian languages they sound similar. Now,
You think?
I work with a lot of Hispanic, so I get pick the difference between French and Spanish. So and then we have Fly High UK, Ireland, UK. And Mike B is here. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Tater, it's been a long time since you've been to my channel. Thanks for coming in. And if you're not...
Couple of people need some blue...
some
blue wrenches there, Art.
Okay, I will...
Take care of that.
Oops, what happened? Video.
I have no idea.
Okay, now okay. Let's see if I could try not to get the overbleed on the audio.
No, your audio sounds fine tonight.
Okay, now okay. Let's see if I could try not to get the overbleed. Just what I thought. And then I get a freaking commercial coming out. Beat on the audio.
Why do I have that echo coming from you?
Well, hold on. Oh, and then there's another commercial.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to mute the audio on my YouTube. Okay, now okay. And a third commercial? You're kidding me.
Oh, YouTube has really screwed the poo.
Oh, they
did. They with the ads. God bless it. I mean, they want you to buy that YouTube Red subscription for $10 or whatever it is a month, so you don't have to see the ads. But they are loading things. I get 2-3 ads before all the videos.
Oh, I know.
And,
it's maddening.
Margie is here. See, Margie is here.
Oh, Margie.
Or Margie or Margie. I don't know how she pronounces it.
Yeah.
Margie, how you doing?
Going to her channel lately and watching that. And cool. I think we're, yeah. Oh, 10 Toes.
10 Toes in the house. Man, you're getting up there. 19 people now, Art.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
People, and, dinner time is over.
I notice my hours are slowly going up. I'm at 3.1K now. And yeah, boy, I'm getting close. The other weird thing is I notice my subs have been bouncing around. I'll get a bunch and then I lose a bunch, and I've been like right around 1410. So
are you doing it? Are you going out to sub for sub channels trying to get subs? Because those are when you do that, those are the ones you get, you lose.
Yeah.
If you just like let natural.
And
you just
Jalen.
Let people just find you.
Yeah.
And then those stick pretty well.
Yeah.
They don't.
And Margie, she's also my one of my Facebook friends too. She's a pretty cool gal.
10 Toes he's saying he had 98 subs, got one more, and then lost one.
Tom, I loved your little video of where you were out on that lake, and that lady said, "Oh no, there's a drone. He's looking at me." That was funny. Oh, that was on Ken's show the other night. Oh boy. So, Tater, he bought it so he could You can watch Cobra Kai. Oh man. Oh, Philip, don't you can't say that word
Yeah, you
again.
can. Nobody cares. It's
Okay.
not a good idea.
All
It's
right.
not a good idea, but it's not going to hurt you.
Okay.
We could be
Never
talking about submarines. This could be a show all about
Yeah.
submarines, Art, or it could be a show about Subway sandwiches. It could be a lot of different things.
There
Who
we
is
go.
YouTube to say that you can't use a word in the
Yeah.
chat? Yeah, yeah. That was easy for me to say. Tomorrow you'll have no channel. You'll find out your channel was deleted.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
Uh,
So did you see? I don't know. This is not a shameless plug. I'm just curious if you saw the video where I made and flew that tiny little airplane that I was showing off on the other night.
oh, not yet, but I will check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I actually took it
I
out
saw
yesterday.
Mel's little plane. That was kind of cool with the 360 camera on it.
Yeah, yeah. Argy says hi to me. How you doing? But nah, it really flew pretty cool with all the different electronics in it and everything. I was
Right.
out there in that park once again all by myself in this huge park, not a soul around,
Yeah.
with this tiny little airplane and put the maiden
Yeah.
flight on it. So, well, we'll talk. Agent K saw it. We'll talk about that some more tomorrow night.
Cool. Cool.
I'll talk about the objectives
Mm.
of what you're trying to accomplish on a
Right.
maiden with something like that, especially with the iNav settings that you have to fly the thing and find out where a lot of the different throttle settings are and everything, so that you can go back and enter all that stuff into the flight controller. So
Thank you, Steve Mac. Yeah, so went fishing today, got all my camera gear, and I'm walking out there, and I see this guy, another fisherman coming towards me. He was, fly fishing. And I asked him, hey, how's the fishing? He goes, is your name Al? I go, no. And he goes, you're the guy that has the fishing channel. I go, oh, I'm Art. Art's Place Fishing. He goes, yeah. Love your
God,
channel.
you're famous, huh?
So that was kind of cool.
I'll bet. Nobody's ever come up to me and said, "You're the old guy, aren't you?"
Hey, we got another panelist all the way.
Oh,
South Dakota. Let's welcome Ron Lockwood.
Hey,
oh, hey,
hey
Ron.
guys. How you
How
guys
you
doing?
doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
How's everybody this
We're
evening?
doing good. I'm actually catching fish, Ron. Can you imagine that?
Okay.
Instead of one little dinky little fish. Oh, here's my little fish I caught in South Dakota. Look at that.
Art, I've only been out, I think, once since you've been here, but I'm going to be leaving in 3 weeks, hopefully for Alaska.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
be getting some monsters up there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my hope. It's my hope.
Awesome. Get that
But-
freezer full of fish.
Yeah, I got
You
a
might
deal.
need to borrow
deal
your
with-
neighbor's freezer.
Well, actually, I got a deal worked out with one of my coworkers. We're going to trade some fish for some beef.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
but we'll see what happens. So,
Cool.
but oh goodness, sorry.
How you getting? Are you flying or driving up there to
Oh,
Alaska?
flying. Well,
How
hopefully
do you get
flying.
the fish? How do you get the fish home?
They have one of those. What do you call it? The super cold freezers.
Right.
And even the fish you catch on the last night, it is rock hard. The morning you leave the lodge about 7 in the morning. Get up to Petersburg about 9, and they actually have like styrofoam they're 50-pound capacity boxes that are lined, and for cold storage. If your fish is, for whatever reason, kept out of cold for longer than 8 hours, the airlines will put it in cold storage for you.
No kidding.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ask
That's
Alaska
awesome.
Airlines. Yeah, they're really, really good about that. Last year, I flew from Petersburg to Seattle, stayed overnight in Seattle. They had it in cold storage in Seattle. And then I went to Salt Lake the next morning. And my buddy, one of the guys I went with, we put everything in his freezer that night. And I left the next morning. And it's about a 10-hour drive home. But when I got home, it was still rock hard. Yep. So, yeah, works out pretty good.
I was in Seattle a number of years ago, a long time ago. And in the airport, they sell salmon and smoked salmon.
Oh, I
in
bet.
the airport. In the airport in Seattle. You know?
Yeah.
So, I had never traveled with fish before on an airplane. It's not something you normally do.
Yeah.
But, I learned that you buy it there, and they actually box it up with dry ice for you.
Yeah.
So I brought some of it. It was smoked salmon, and God, was it good. And I brought, I don't know, about 5 pounds of that home with me. And when I finally got it home, it was still rock, like a brick.
No, great.
We brought back, I'm sorry.
I want to say hello to Sunrise Water Media, the Four-Eyed Canine, and Michigan Adventures. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we brought back about 350 pounds of fish last trip.
Wow.
Agent K says, was it my emotional support fish?
Oh, that's funny.
I want him to let me take my emotional support monkey on the airplane with me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just watch out when it starts throwing it.
Yeah. He throws digital stuff.
Oh, okay. Digital poop. Okay.
Digital poop, yeah.
Art, you would like, a matter of fact, my one buddy that's coming from California, he's never been up there, so I'm going to take him to a place. It's about 10 miles from the hotel outside of Petersburg, but you drive, it's about 8 or 10 miles away, not far. And you pull into this parking lot. It's about a quarter mile or so walk back in through the woods. But you come out into this kind of a big opening right on the river, and there's just salmon jumping all over. There's bears in there trying to catch them, and it's a cool sight to see. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
I like what emotional support.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, that's funny that he should say that, because in the community where I live, they have a rule that no dog can weigh over 25 pounds. It's just one of these retirement type places. You're going to have a dog in here, it's going to be one of these little foo-foo dogs. Of course, nobody obeys the rules, and they use the emotional support animal loophole to get these huge big dogs in here.
Oh, there you go.
Terrorize everybody. And I got one time I was almost attacked. I was out for a walk and just damn near got attacked by one of these dogs. It was because the owner couldn't hold on to this dog. It was so big. It was a big pit bull.
Oh.
And I went to the office and I said, tell you what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to get an emotional support hippopotamus. It's exactly what I said. I said, give me the paperwork I need. I'm going to get a backhoe in here and dig a huge hole behind my house, fill it full of muddy water. I'm going to let the hippopotamus live in there. I'm going to put a big chain on him there so he can't get more than, say, 60 or 80 feet. So he can't eat these other people's emotional support dogs. And they didn't know whether I was serious. And I didn't let them know whether I was serious or not for a while.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
And where I was fishing is kind of a little depression. I think it's part of the spillway for this little pond. And so I'm right on the trail there. People were walking their dogs and kids riding their bikes. So I'm like close to the pond. And once in a while, I get a dog that comes up and starts sniffing me. And I go, "Oh, hello there. Hi there." I just act like, if you just don't, react to the dog, they'll just leave you alone unless they start barking and snarling at you. But I did have a cool thing happen to me while I was fishing. Right after I landed that big 26-inch carp today, I'm hearing the howls of coyotes, and you can
Wow.
hear it in the video.
Really?
I mean, it was a lot of them. I mean, it just sounded like the whole neighborhood just lit up with coyotes.
and you're standing there with this 26-inch fish.
Well, I mean, those coyotes are far enough away; they're not going to mess. But then I caught another coyote. I'm sorry, I'm boring you, Ron.
No, it's been a long weekend, buddy.
Yeah. I caught a 20-inch carp, and so I caught two of them. And what I did different today is I wanted to go all out, do really real carp fishing. I bought a method rig, and what that is, it's like a cage where you make what's called pack bait, which is usually oatmeal, jello, a little bit of honey, and some corn in there, and you let it get really, and it looks like a spring, and then you pack it, because what it does, it starts to dissolve in the water, and that attracts the fish, and then you have this long leader that has a hook on it, and on the end of the hook there's a little piece of line out. That's called a hair rig. And what you do is you get one of these fake corn, and they're soft, and you thread that through, and you have a stopper on the end. And then what you do is you put some corn on the hook, and you embed that in the pack bait, so when it dissolves, it kind of floats away from it, and it attracts these carp, and they come over and they go, "Oh, look at that!" Oh, and you catch a carp. The only problem was I got a couple bites from it, but I never caught one. I ended up losing the rig because it got snagged on something, because you're using a heavy weight right above the little cage thing. And so what I did is I just threw on a circle hook with a split shot and put some corn on. Then I finally caught some carp.
I used two different things when I was up in Alaska that I've never used before. One was a flasher. Don't know if you've ever used one of those.
I'm thinking about that laughing.
Yeah.
Remember the flasher? That old man would come by and
Artie Johnson, remember? Artie Johnson.
Yeah. And a thing called a pink lady.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that regulates the depth that you're going to be going down. Depending on where we try anywhere between 40 and 80 feet in the bay. But that flasher is out in front of it, and it's probably a foot long, and it sits there and just twirls on your line and causes silver, and reflects off the light, so it looks like it's a fish,
Right.
And then down below the pink lady, then you'll have another leader coming down, and that'll have your jig, and then we throw on some herring. It's for the salmon.
Right.
And then the the halibut we use, my God, it's probably a 2 pound, 3 pound lead weight,
Yeah.
and a big.
Oh
It's
yeah.
almost it's
You
like
gotta
a
get down there on the bottom.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
down 300 to 400 feet,
Yeah.
and then usually throw on some squid or something on the end of it. Yeah, and just bounce it off the bottom 6-8 inches. Just keep popping it up and down.
Yep.
You'll know it when they grab a hold of it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the same way with carp. When you put a little corn and you put it out there, once they take that, it's like a jerk, and
Yeah.
boy, it pretty much sets itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to like that. And
Right.
but when I caught that big carp on July 4th, oh man, it just
That was
felt
a big
like
fish.
I had a locomotive on the end of that. It just
Yeah.
down, 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 and then I'm worried about it because it's in a skiff. I'm fishing in a skiff in the marina
Yeah.
where the boats are docked, and I got to worry about because those docks have pilings that are holding in place. I got to worry about that, the fish tangling on that, and the keel of the boat because I'm on a sailboat, and the keel on that is however long below the bottom of the ship. And well, thank you, Tater. You have a good one, and drink plenty of fluids while you're out there mowing that lawn. Oh, do some rat killing. Oh, okay. Okay, take it easy. Hey, Brian's here. BMAC, welcome to the show.
Another white man in a sea of blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, keep my fingers crossed that everything continues to go well.
Right.
Got an appointment with my doctor 4 days, 5 days before I leave because I have to have my COVID-19 test with results 72 hours prior to entering the state.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And as long as there's not a problem in the state of Washington, because my layover is in Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. Some of those states are kind of weird.
Especially Washington State.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say hello to Nova Samsung, all the way from, I think, the Philippines. Oh, right. So, yeah. Because I plan to go to the Philippines in February, and hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get my ticket to go to Manila, and then I'll have to figure out what my itinerary is going to be with my girlfriend. Whether I go see her first, and then kind of make my way back up to Manila, or go visit everybody on the island of Luzon, and go to Davao, and then I just fly right back to Manila and just stay there and fly out of there. I don't know. Those. Yeah.
Are you still going down to Mitch's place to fish?
I've been toying with the idea of going down there around Thanksgiving.
Hopefully by then this COVID mess will be all over with.
Well,
that's what screwed it up. That's what screwed it up the last time. Right, exactly. I mean, I'm talking within the week is when this whole thing broke out.
Yeah. Now, what were you taking him fishing for, Mitch?
I don't know. I don't fish. I have no.
Yeah, he's
I,
not much.
I am not a fisherman. I'm well. You guys are talking fishing. I'm sitting here. Me and JDS, we're sitting here yawning, thinking about eating fish instead of. I used to. The closest I ever got to fishing, Ron, was spear fishing.
Ah,
Because I used to do a lot of scuba diving. So we did go spear fishing, but that's a whole different animal than
right.
the science of actually. I tried it a couple times.
Yeah.
And my son likes to fish, and they go out deep sea fishing out in the ocean, 30, 40, 50 miles out. They get dolphin.
Yeah. Not flipper. Not flipper.
Not flipper, no.
No.
Mahi mahi. Mahi mahi is
Mahi.
what they get. Mahi mahi.
Yeah, that's supposed to be really good.
Yep.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
fish, and they fight like
Oh,
hell.
and they're beautiful fish too.
We used to. Have you ever heard of a hog snapper?
No.
It's called a hog snapper. A hog snapper is a fish that you find out in the Gulf of Mexico. And when I lived in the Gulf, over in St. Pete 30, 40 years ago, I had a boat over there, and we used to go out diving out in the Gulf and spearfishing for these hog snapper. And the reason most people have never heard of them is they're a bottom feeder.
Oh, okay.
So they're not going to take any bait from a line, and they're the dumbest, without a doubt, the dumbest fish in the ocean.
Right.
Here you are. You're standing there with this big spear gun on the bottom, just standing there, and this fish swims right up and stops and kind of points right here. There you go. There's your target right there. And you go boom, and you shoot the thing. We would come back. We would go out, and we would come back with 400 to 500 pounds of this hog snapper, and
Oh.
it's the best fish you ever ate. It's the mildest
man.
white fish that's out of this
Oh,
world. And
man.
we'd get back to the dock, and we would sell half of it off, and it paid for all the fuel
Right.
and everything we used that day. And then we'd stay till wee hours cleaning it. And then we'd fill up the freezer and had enough for 6 months. And that was great, but that spoiled me because it was so easy. You didn't have to work
Right.
for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Art, you ever see that gal on the YouTube channel? She has bikini bow fishing.
No.
Oh, just type in bikini bow fishing.
Yeah, she's probably got 18 million subs, right?
Oh, she has a.
Yeah.
Of course. You put a bikini on anything in YouTube, and you're instantly hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views.
Right.
She does pretty good,
Yeah.
but they bow fish using a bow and arrow.
Bowfish.
No kidding.
Okay.
Bow fishing. Yeah.
I thought you said bone fishing.
Bikini bow. BOW
Oh,
fishing.
okay. Okay,
Yep.
I'll have to
Has
check.
a little bow with a string on it, and
Yeah.
she's wearing
Oh,
a bikini.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy that I fished off the back of his boat on July 4th, he does that sometimes.
Yeah,
Bowfish.
I saw his wife wearing the bikini there. Yeah, that same guy.
Oh, you got to see it before I took it down?
I did.
Ah, okay. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Art, there it is.
There you go.
There it is. That was on one of our hog snapper little trips. My
okay.
buddy and I out there with on a foggy morning on the Gulf of Mexico, 35 miles out, and
Well, look,
that was
popped in
that was what we did.
in the chat. Hey, Kelly. Welcome to the show. Hey, Kelly.
Hey Kelly, how you doing, buddy?
A link if you want to pop in. You're welcome to pop in. John Spizzo, welcome to the show.
Art, did you hear about our big tornado up here last weekend?
No.
Oh man, I scared another person on the 4-wheeler.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah,
Uh,
I think I saw the photos of the trees snap.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was actually, I was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I'm trying to think. Did I take you? We were very close to Dalton Lake,
Uh-huh.
maybe 10 minutes away. And when I left the house, the first thing I told him was, "You're really going to love this." It was crystal blue out.
Yeah.
Nothing in the forecast. And hour and a half, 2 hours later, we just sat down at this outdoor barbecue. We were
Right.
sitting there 5 minutes, and I looked up in the sky. I'm like, "Uh-oh."
We gotta go.
Yeah. And matter of fact, check this out. And then I looked at my radar, and I'm like, we need to leave now.
Yeah.
And because if we would have stayed there, we would have got the worst of it. Here is the sky.
Right.
I don't know how well you can see this, but that was the sky.
Are you
So-
sending Kelly the link, Art?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
I got his email right here.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, Kelly. Mitch is sending you the link. And speaking of the link, the missing link, we have all the way from Austin, Texas, Kelly Shore.
Boy, I gotta do some reading here.
Kelly Shore.
Hold on. Let me. Sorry. Total nude move there. Sorry, guys. How's it going?
So
All right.
good to see you, Kelly.
Yeah, I saw you wearing the shirt and representing. I appreciate that.
Yep, and it'll be in my next fishing video.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Anybody recognize this guy here? I got on my shirt.
Underdog.
Underdog.
Underdog. Yeah. It's funny because that was my favorite cartoon character growing up, and I used to always, I would hate it would really get under my skin when people would say, "Is that Mighty Mouse?" No, it's not Mighty Mouse. It's
Mighty
Underdog.
Mouse. That doesn't look anything like a mouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look anything like a dog either. But so I actually have a question, and I don't want to get into it too far right now because it could take hours. But this might be something for Mitch's show in a week or two. But I have been going through some of my older drones. I've got a Walkera Furious 215. You familiar with that one, Mitch? It's a racing drone. Anyway, it was sent to me to review in 2016 or 2017. It's not a bad drone. It's got lots of LEDs on it. It's bound to a Dimension radio. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of an off the shelf kind of thing. Anyway, it's got clean flight on it, and I cannot figure out how to convert clean flight to beta flight.
It's easy. It's easy.
Is it easy? Okay. Well,
yeah.
we don't need to get into it now. I don't want to hijack that.
But come on tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern on the workshop, and we'll see if we can't walk you through it. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would be 7 p.m. your time, Kelly.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, I would love that. Because I've actually discovered like 2 or 3 old drones that I'd love to fly again, but they all have clean flight, and I just can't really mess with them.
Did you ever fly it with the clean flight?
Oh yeah. I used to have clean flight installed back then. I used it a fair amount before everything kind of switched over to beta flight.
Well, but it still works. It probably still works.
Oh yeah, no, it'll still bind. But one of the problems is right now it's not in air mode. So like when you kill the props, you kill the props. So that's one of the things I wanted to change. I just wanted to look at some of the rates and just make it a little better. Like I finally kind of figured out how to do some of that stuff, but I can't talk to the drone to make those changes. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, you can put. The only thing you need to find out is the target that's on that particular flight controller, and the way you find out what the target is normally you log in to either beta flight or clean flight, whatever configurator you have that it's running, and you can type in a CLI version and it'll tell you what the target is. But in order to install the new in beta flight on it, you need to know what Betaflight target, what version of the Betaflight firmware that controller needs.
Well, so I can get in the CLI, and I was able to do a dump and see a bunch of information about it. It's oh gosh, it's a SP Racing 3 is the flight controller.
It's an F3 probably.
F3, yeah, that's right. That's the flight controller in it. So anyway, so I can get all that information from a dump. But
yeah.
So Art, I saw you. Well, first of all, I heard Sean dumped your Mavic in the water. He called me later that night, and he felt terrible. He's really kind of torn up about it. I'm sure not as torn up as you are about it, but
yeah. Well, I'm in that weird area. I'm like, now if I would have done it, then it would be a whole different thing. But I don't know. I just feel, bad about it. But I'm really looking forward to flying the Autel Evo. And,
yeah, he said you is Evo, right?
Yeah, we're going to meet up tomorrow morning, do a little bit of flying around, and maybe go search for the Mavic Air. I think that's I don't think that'll be salvageable unless someone has a paddleboard or a kayak and maybe have a stick with a hook on it. Maybe.
How deep do you think that water is?
The thing is, it's really murky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to see. Now, if we had a way of, like, if we had like one of those underwater drones, like the Dory or something like that, to where we could get down there and kind of pinpoint it and get a fix on where the exact location is. Well, I mean, I got the map and I know where it landed. Thing is, if we get a kayak or a canoe or something out there and just get like a long PVC pole with maybe a coat hanger for a hook and just kind of feel around down there and just
swim down there and grab it. Tell him jump his ass in there.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing: there's no swimming is not allowed in this lake.
Oh.
So, and that's the other thing.
The drone retrieving count as swimming, or is that a different thing?
Yeah, I guess it would be if the cops see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Art. I don't know if this will make you feel any better, but there's a reason why I am a proud new owner of a brand new Mavic 2 Pro as of Friday or Saturday of last week. Mm-hmm.
And you did that too, huh?
The day before, I used to have a 2-year-old Mavic 2 Pro.
You put it up in the mountains though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like totally out of sight, like beyond where you could see where it went down.
I was in an area without cellular data. I had a smart controller,
right?
And it was 6 inches from the top of a pine tree. It was 100% pilot error. It was all my fault. I'm not afraid to admit it. But I was doing a left yaw and thought I was actually closer towards the road, but I was back. The one side of the road is a straight up canyon, and the left side where I was at is kind of a gradual upgraded, like a pine forest. And so I didn't realize on the smart controller, and I've learned a couple lessons from this. One, know your controller better. I didn't know that the smart controllers doesn't have the Find My Drone like a regular controller with a phone or an iPad would have.
Doesn't have flight log on it.
It has flight log, and I would, but the problem is when you don't have cellular data.
Right. So your phone has cellular data all the time, or most of the time.
Right. So what I ended up doing was, it's like, oh my God, how do I find this? So and I couldn't seem to find it on the smart controller. So I drove 5 miles back out to had cell data, and through another YouTuber, I got a hold of Ken Dobo. Ken kind of helped me get the coordinates from the smart controller. I put that on my phone, went back in, and could see where it was at. And I've got more bumps, bruises, scrapes, cuts on me. I spent probably close to an hour. I had Jim Boyd on alert, and I said, if you don't hear from me again tonight, here's the location of where I'll be. Send help.
Wow.
He was actually getting nervous because he had been like 2-3 hours and he hadn't heard from me. So I started up the mountain. It took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get about 100 yards, and then I just remembered during Ken and I's conversation, he said, "It's not worth your life." I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's not."
Yeah.
But I'm going to drive by there now for the rest of my life and knowing that drone's only 200 yards up there. I don't know whether to, try to get some extra help. That's about the only I can do.
Did you have your FAA number or phone number or any sort of identifier on it?
Yeah, my FAA number's on there. Yeah.
Of course, I guess most people, just a hiker who finds it might not know what to do with that.
Right.
I've got an email address on most of my drones along with the FAA number, so that it's like not invasive. It's an email address that I don't really care if people, what I mean. It's not like an invasive thing, but if somebody found it and they wanted to email me, they could.
Yeah, the hard thing is too, and I'm not certain, but I mean, there's so many pine trees, but I honestly think I recognize the one tree. But the problem is, when I hit that tree, how far did it spin and tumble, and which direction did it go? The vegetation on the ground is probably 6 to 7 feet high, and it's thick. It's like going through soup, and your chances of finding it are probably really slim. So I cut my losses, learned some lessons, and won't do that again.
Yeah. What's funny is the other night on Ken's show, they showed on, I think it was part of the news, where they have this gadget that you put on your drone, and in case it goes in the drink, a little bobber pops up. And shine on it, where you can just, once you get the bobber, you pull the line in, and there's your drone right there, and then you ship it off to DJI. Hey, I've got Carry Fresh.
The bobber was this big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, you're trying to find that bobber in any kind of rough water?
Yeah, that's true.
You never know. I took my new one up the next day and went right back to where I was at and launched it and crawled along the top of the pine trees that were about 250 feet up, and just kept looking, hoping maybe, hey, did it potentially only fall a couple feet? I don't know. But I didn't see it. So
wow,
that's where the bright orange of an Autel comes in handy, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That would really show up.
Yeah, what?
You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, there's something to be said to that. Matt North, he just put that skin on his real bright red. It's like, what? There's a lot of truth in that. There's a reason for that. Yeah. That gray will be hard to see.
Yeah,
a lot of guys lose their GoPro cameras that fly off their FPV drones because they're black. And you can't see them. Now, RunCam had a RunCam 5, a little small camera, and then they came out with a new one and they made it bright orange, and that was a smart thing to do.
Right.
Have any of you guys played with this guy yet? The little Insta360 Go?
No, haven't.
No.
Have you played with it, Art?
No, I haven't.
A lot of people are putting these on FPV. I'm actually going to go out tomorrow and fly with this on the Rocket and see how it does.
They're very light. They're putting them on tiny little drones.
20 grams.
Yeah.
20 grams. Wow. Pretty slick. It sits in this little magnetic case. There's some I don't know if you can see it. There's some lead contacts back there that allow it to charge wirelessly. There they are. So it just pops into this case magnetically, and then the light comes on the side. It's charging just like AirPods.
Oh, okay. And who made that?
There's some limitations to it, but I shot some with it today. I actually went on a 20-mile bike ride, had this on my handlebars, and did time lapse, did like shot looking back up at me, shot looking down at the tire, shot looking, at the trail. Then the footage turned out great. This has the flow state. I think it's called flow state stabilization that Insta360 uses.
How do you mount that, Kelly?
Well, for actually, hold on. I have it right here. So on my bike, I have a GoPro mount.
Right.
And this thing just goes into the GoPro mount. So it was just in there.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
Okay.
And then for the drone, I haven't figured that out yet. I was actually So I went down this whole rabbit hole today. I was looking for something to mount this to my rocket, and then I found this old drone, and I was like, I should really fly that. And then I turned it on, and I forgot that it didn't have air mode on, so I plugged it in my computer, and then realized it had clean flight, not beta flight, and then I saw you guys, and now here I am. So
now that's not a 360 camera. It's only a 180 camera. Yeah.
It does amazing stabilization. I mean, the stabilization for my bike ride, which was pretty bumpy, was fantastic.
What do they cost? What do they cost?
$150.
No, it's not too bad.
And right now, well, it only records. The most you can do is 5 minutes. You have to update the firmware to be able to do 5 minutes with it. There's a lot of limitations to it, but one of the other really cool things, it has this. I didn't actually wear this today. This is a medallion that you wear, kind of around the neck, and then this is magnetic. And so you wear this under your shirt. You wear the medallion under your shirt, and then you click it on your shirt. So you can just
okay,
cool. A hat clip you can put on. I mean, it has a whole bunch of little ways to mount it to different stuff.
Cool.
What's the video quality on that, Kelly?
1080. Actually, it's weird. It's 1080 at 25 frames a second. It doesn't do 30 frames a second. I think it's 25. So I don't know if that's because of a European PAL thing, or but it's or maybe it's just bit rate.
Right.
But yeah, I got it Friday, and today was my first day to play with it, and I was pretty impressed with how the footage turned out for the first go. But I'll put it on a drone tomorrow and see how it does.
Cool.
Nurk's got one of those. He's been flying around on one of his little tiny whoops.
I don't know if you guys saw Speed Dial last night, but I talked about this. Nurk was in Austin this week, and I actually got to go out with him and chase rally cars around a rally car track in Austin. He was doing it with a company that makes a really, really big FPV cinema camera carrying drone. So it had the DJI Air system on it. It had he had an Insta360 on it, the bigger one, the Insta360 1R, and it has the FPV. Oh, and it had the red on it. It had a red on it as well, a red camera. So this thing weighed like 40 pounds or something.
Holy mackerel!
And he was chasing rally cars around, and I was just basically filming with a Mavic, like filming him, filming his drone chasing. But it was really cool. I was really psyched when he told me about it and said, "You want to come out?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, that sounds great."
Cool. Well, Kelly, it is that part of the show where I do Toffee Trivia.
I see that going along the bottom there, just kind of Toffee Trivia.
All right, this is where I give away a box of Enstrom's almond toffee, where I will throw out a trivia question. Whoever gets the answer first is the winner. The top.
You mean with us, or is it us, or is it the audience via chat?
You can play to Kelly. Sean was the winner last week, so saved me on shipping.
No, if
So-
you already won, you can't play either, right?
Well,
Didn't
Ron, you get to play. You were a winner a while back, so
Thunderbird 6 says the answer is 42.
okay. All right, so we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do some TV trivia.
Oh, yeah. All right.
We're going to go all the way back to the 80s.
Got it.
You remember a show called Facts of Life?
Oh,
yes.
When the guys you used to date you hate, it's the time you best investigate the facts of life.
No, he doesn't remember it. No.
No. All right, continue.
All right. In season 1, there was a little girl that played with me, and she was only in season 1, and this is before she became famous. This was
It wasn't Janet Jackson, was it?
No, it wasn't Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson was in Good Times.
Yeah, that's right.
She was in Good Times, and then she became famous. Gosh, season 1, she was in Facts of Life, and then she became famous.
Yep, after Facts of Life.
Honestly, I didn't really watch Facts of Life that much. I don't know why I remember TV theme songs really well.
She was a few years older. She was only, maybe 11 or 12 at the time. So a few years later, she
Mike B, the Drone Ranger, says Nancy McKeon, and that she played Joe. Molly Ringwald. Molly Ringwald. Is that right?
Yep, it is. But Thunderbird, you can't. I'm not going to ship it to Australia.
Well, nice job, Thunderbird 6. Molly Ringworm. Somebody said Molly Ringworm.
Yeah, that's close enough. Americans don't know trivia, evidently, because it's always the international crowd that wins on your show.
Yeah, we have to Google it.
We're sitting here looking at Google. I'm looking at the cast that's about as long as my arm, figuring now which one of these is the right answer.
Well, okay. I'll follow up with you then, Art. There was a man who was on that show who became a famous actor. Who was that?
George Clooney.
Yes, that's correct.
He was towards the last season. And who was the new character to replace Ray Garrett?
Mrs. Garrett.
Mrs. Garrett, yeah.
I don't recall. My sister watched that show. I didn't really watch it that much. So
I never watched that show, Kelly. I never saw not one episode of it.
No, what's
well, you didn't have a bratty sister like me.
No, I was also like 35 years old or 40 years old at the time.
Sure. I think I was like 12. Who replaced Mrs. Garrett?
Cloris Leachman.
Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll throw one out there. Who played Alice on Brady Bunch? This is easy.
Oh God! And she lived here in Denver for a while. God. All right, whoever can answer that.
Remember, it had the whole cast with the 6 things, and then in the middle it said with blank.
But whoever gets it in the chat is the winner.
Mike B, the Drone Ranger, got it. NB Davis.
Right. Mike B. Okay, Mike B. I have your address, so I will ship that out.
Sorry, Thunderbird 6.
Thunderbird wanted you to eat his candy, Art, so he could watch.
Actually, that's pretty good candy. I had some.
I did too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
are you going to bring
too damn good.
Are you going to bring some to Dylan?
Yes, I will talk to Mr. Enstrom, Rick Enstrom, and I'll see if they're willing to let me bring a bunch of samples.
That would be wonderful.
He's really good about that, where I could They're like,
Toffee trivia.
yeah, toffee trivia. Well, thanks, Mike B. Or Mike Brooks. Thanks for playing. And be
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you letting me jump in. Mitch, I will tune in tomorrow at 8, or I guess 7 my time, and we'll talk beta flight and clean flight. But
There you go.
I actually need to finish getting. I'm actually getting up. I'm going to probably get up around 5:30 or 6 to get out to fly tomorrow because it's so damn hot here. After about 9 a.m., you can't even be outside. So.
yeah.
Well,
All
Kelly,
right,
I
we'll see you tomorrow night.
wish I could come down and join you guys in was it September? The end of
Yeah, September 26th will be in Dillon.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to do that, Kelly, but it's I'm in Florida, and I looked at the price of plane tickets, and that was a lot. Then I thought about carrying. So then I said, well, maybe I'll drive. So I went and looked on Google. 2,100 miles from my house to Dillon, Colorado.
Well, Ken Dono is actually talking about driving.
Really?
He said he was going to do a family road trip. Yeah.
Well, if he's got his family, I'm not going to go with him. That's for sure.
Sad part.
I guess you're shoved in the back between two kids wearing masks.
I would be the cranky old grandfather on that trip.
Yeah, you would.
Check out Frontier Airlines. They've got some really cheap tickets to Denver.
Yeah.
Florida.
That's only about a 4 or 5 hour drive for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a long ass drive from here. And the thing about it is to go to an event like that, the amount of crap I'd want to bring with me, I want to bring FPV stuff and Mavic stuff and all that.
So I think I'm actually going to drive up from Texas. It's about 17 hours from here. And I think I'm going to, so my dad came to Spin Up last year. I think I'm going to bring him again. He had a great time. And so maybe even my son. So we'll drive up. My wife's got a Tahoe, so we got plenty of room for drones and stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you again for letting me join. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Yeah. Kelly, nice to talk to you.
Bye, Ron. Nice talking to you too. Take care, guys.
Take care. All right, Art, Mitch, you guys have a nice evening, and we'll catch up to you another day.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay. Good to see you, Ron.
Good to see you as always.
All right. Good night now.
Good night.
Care.
Oh, the four-eyed canine says Ken could just strap Mitch to the roof.
It'd be like the Chevy. It would remind you of a Chevy Chase movie. Just strap me up on the roof there on the luggage carrier.
Yeah, you could be like Mitt Romney's dog.
Yeah, I mean, and I seriously thought about it because I would really, but it's just one day. If it was, I used to drive 1,500 miles to go to these model jet meets all over the place, but it was for a week. You'd go and you'd have it was for a week, but for one day. And my luck, that one day the weather it'd be snowing or raining or some ridiculous thing.
And then it's like on Sunday, you could be down here in Denver and, we could do stuff here. And then Monday, you could be back to Florida.
Yeah, if I flew. But again, if I flew, I'd play hell bringing everything that I would want to. If I'm going to go to an event like that, I'm coming loaded for bear, man.
Well, you need one of those great big hard shell suitcases.
And again, with my luck, my suitcase would end up in China because it got put on the wrong plane, and I'd be up there for the day with nothing to fly. So I'm looking for one a little closer. I drive 1,000 miles, but 2,100 miles is a 3-day drive. I mean, 700 miles a day is a ambitious day's driving. So that's 3 days driving to get there, and 3 days back. That's I can't be away from home that long right now anyway because
you got to take care of the monkey and.
Well, no, I do a little work. I do work. Website stuff. Some of that stuff is
retired. You still got business.
Yeah. Well, I need to work, so I work. But I'll be with you guys in spirit, and I need to. In fact, that reminds me, I need to go on to the virtual spin up. I need to buy my ticket. I'm going to, of course, buy
Yeah.
a ticket
Yep.
for that, and I need to do that, and that'll be fun. But I would like to see. We've got enough guys in Florida here.
Yeah, you do.
We've got the whole Tampa crowd. You got
Yep.
Ken Dono. You got Dan Drone Worship. We got Ed, Love My Drones,
Yeah.
who's over, and we've got Adrian Mateo, who
Adrian.
and all of us could meet somewhere in the middle and drive an hour.
Yep.
And we
there
keep
you go.
threatening to put something like that together, and somehow it just never happens.
Right. Right. Now, one time I drove from Deerfield Beach all the way to New Orleans. I mean, Florida doesn't look like it.
Oh,
It is long.
I think Florida, if you, and I may be wrong, but if you count going from the Alabama border all the way to Key West, it makes it the longest drive across it. I think it's much longer than driving across Texas. I think
Yeah.
it makes it the longest drive from because when you get up there to Pensacola, and up in the the West Panhandle, it's a long drive.
Yeah, it is. Oh boy.
And then, of course, once you get, no sooner are you out of Florida, you're pretty much right on New Orleans. Of course,
Yeah.
Alabama isn't very big right there. That little
Well,
tiny,
yeah, down that.
Yeah.
Alabama,
Yeah.
Mississippi, and then
Yeah.
go to New Orleans, and I was on my way to, I think Denton, Texas.
Steve Mack said he drove from Daytona to Toronto.
Oh boy,
That's a drive. Yeah, that's quite
yeah.
a drive.
Yep. Boy, back when I did stand-up comedy, oh God, boy, did I did so much driving. And the sucky thing is, I live here in Denver, and most of the work was either in the Southeast or in the Midwest. And I toyed around with the idea of just moving to the, Louisville, Kentucky. Then that way I'm pretty much in the center. And I could drive all over, and I'd have a lot of work without, busting my hump very much. But
Steve Mack said he drove 1,000 miles to meet a YouTuber last year. I sure hope she was good looking, Steve.
yeah. Yeah, so I did a lot of driving. I did a lot of shows in where was North Carolina, and North Carolina, and I did some shows in Georgia and Florida. In South Carolina. Uh, I was all over in Georgia. I was in Atlanta, Savannah, Macon. I even did a show up where it was Athens, Georgia,
Athens, yeah.
which is
We used to
not
go to
very
these-
far from where our former football coach of the Denver Broncos was. Now I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's the guy that had the string of Super Bowls that the Broncos lost. Dan Reeves, who actually played for the Dallas Cowboys back when they won Super Bowls with Roger Staubach. And he was from Americus, Georgia, which is also really close to Plains, Georgia, which,
peanut farms. Yeah.
President, probably
Yeah.
the first, next to Obama, first president.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close in that contest.
Yeah. Well, if you think Okay, in the 20th century, he would have been the worst president of the 20th.
Yeah.
In the 21st century, Obama, hands down.
You know, I used to do so much driving for this hobby.
Yeah.
I had to haul these big jet model airplanes, and had a generator and a workbench and a trailer. I had a 16-foot trailer, and used to had a big diesel powered Ford Excursion. So this was quite a rig. I used to take this thing maybe 6 to 8 different times a year. We'd go to these
Wow.
fly-ins, and we'd go for 4 or 5, 6 days, or even a week. And we had them in. One of them was called Superman, and it was in Metropolis, Illinois. And Metropolis is billed as the home of Superman, and we would take
Yeah.
over the airport. And at the airport at Superman, at the airport, they actually had a Superman statue
Uh-huh.
in Metropolis, and that was right across from Paducah, Kentucky, and that was,
Oh, okay.
just on the other side of the river, at the southern tip of Illinois, and that was. I would drive it, and I would drive it straight through, and it should have been a 2-day drive, but I'd get to a point where I was only 4 or 5 hours out, and I'd end up driving straight through the night to get there, and I was much younger back in those days, but
Yeah.
I'm not up for those kind of drives
Yeah.
anymore.
I want to say hello to Arizona Drone Dude. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Oh, God. And plus, I did a lot of shows in the Midwest, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois,
Wow.
most of the upstate of Illinois.
You know, another thing that would bother me these days, right now, in the current climate with this, with COVID and everything, leave it up to me to try to drive from here to Colorado. I would find at one state border a barrier saying you can't come into this state.
Yeah.
We just made a new law. And I would say, well, I'm driving through the state. And they would say, sorry, you can't come into the state if you're not a resident. I would truly expect that. And that alone would keep me from even trying. Can you imagine driving 1,500 miles, getting out there, and then some state says you can't come in?
Right. You know, when I went to go see Ron, Wyoming was under quarantine. You could drive through, but you could not stay
They
overnight.
let you drive. How the hell did they know if you were going to stay? What, are they going to follow you? How
Well,
would they know if you were not staying overnight in a hotel or
well,
something?
you check into a motel and, oh, well, there's somebody from out of state and
Uh,
the cockroach motor inn. And I've stayed at a few roach motels, and one of them was in Coffeeville, Kansas, where I had crickets keeping me awake at night because there was a cricket in the bathroom. I couldn't find him, and it just, I'd start sleeping, and I hear this creak, creak, creak. You know how a cricket makes, just drove me freaking nuts.
Art, nobody can beat the hotel experience that I had in West Virginia on my way up to Pittsburgh. Years to visit my sister, years and years ago. I'm driving, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm getting tired, and I'm out in the middle of absolutely nowhere when I come across a big sign on the interstate, and I forget the name of the hotel, but it's some mom and pop hotel in the mountains
Oh,
in West Virginia. So I pull into this mom and pop hotel, and if you know how hokey like Cracker Barrel restaurants are, you know, they're gift shops.
yeah.
Well, this place made a Cracker Barrel look like downtown Manhattan sophisticated. And they had stuffed animals, stuffed toys everywhere, everywhere. In the men's room, everywhere, hanging from the ceiling, sitting on the chair. I never saw so many teddy bears and stuffed toys. But it was the only hotel. And so I went and got a room. And when I got into that room, I had my at the time my iPhone. This was the first iPhone, so I had a movie camera. So I said, nobody is ever going to believe this, and I took a video of what the inside of this hotel room looked like, and I have it here, if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
So make it big screen, because this was the most amazing thing. And then I want to ask, after you see this, if any of you would have felt comfortable closing your eyes and trying to go to sleep in this room without dreams of Chucky and the rest of those movies that you've seen.
Oh man.
So at any rate, make the screen big. Make me big if you can.
All right. Let me.
I don't mean to take over your show, but I think now that you made you big and made me small.
Oh no. No, I gotta do the ad.
No, you gotta. There you go. Okay, so here's the hotel room. This is inside the room, and there's a teddy bear, and there's dolls, and stuffed dogs, and more teddy bears. This one's reading a book. I mean, this was absolutely for real. Anyway, that was it.
That was
Okay, Art. Tell me if that wouldn't have spooked you to the nth degree.
Boy.
Now, have you ever in your life ever checked into a hotel and found a hotel room?
Diabetes from all that syrupy cuteness in there. Boy.
I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. I mean, and I laid down and shut off the lights to go to bed, and it was the creepiest thing I've ever felt in my life. I felt like all of these, there must have been 20 of them in there. They were all looking at me.
Hey, I want to say hello to Robert Blazer and Justin Anderson. Welcome to the show. Oh, I like what Four-Eyed Canine says.
Yeah, no thanks. Somebody says that's just wrong. Yeah. She said that everybody's saying they probably all had cameras in them. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go.
Oh, it was the strangest, and I've never, ever. I wonder if when they built that thing, they had said, you know, this would make a great franchise or something. They were really proud of it. Here's Chucky.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Philip, you're right.
Yeah.
Here's Chucky.
Oh man.
At any rate.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the quality of the video, Art, that we've come a long way with camera phones.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I catch a fish, I take a photograph of it, and then it's on Facebook. Everybody goes, "Oh wow!" And I notice the quality of the cameras getting better with each model. I mean, I had before this camera, I had the Samsung J3. This is a J7, and boy, I am really amazed with the video and camera quality, or the photo quality on this. And
they're amazing. The new cell phones, amazing. Even the 4K video that they shoot is absolutely incredible. See ya, Steve Mack.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for posting my Teespring and my tip jar. Yeah, my last phone only had 16 gigs of storage. And I ran out of space so fast with that. And every phone comes with bloatware, and I found out how to get rid of a lot of that. And I did that with this phone, but I've got 32 gigs, and I still have plenty of space. But every so often, what I'll do is I'll delete a bunch of photos and memes and junk off of there, and that frees it up. But now I'm starting to get enough apps where now it's on the third page.
I've got this phone I've had just about 2 years now, and it's a Google. It's a LG V35, and it's a great phone, and it's part of that Google Project Fi thing. But it's one of the I hate to get rid of it because it has an SD card slot in it, and I've got a 128 gigabyte SD card
Nice.
in this, and they're doing away, and it has a headphone jack, and they're not putting headphone jacks and SD card slots in a lot of the newest of the new phones.
Yes, headphone jack, and it's got right here. This is where the SD card goes in.
Yeah, well, hang on to that because I mean, I've got so much crap on this that if it was only like a 64 gig or even 128 gig phone, I probably would have filled it up by now.
Yeah.
So I figure that, I got it from Google and it was like $20 a month you paid for the phone, over a period of 2 years or however long it was, $25 a month. And it's 2 months from being at the end of that. And that's when you normally think about getting a new phone. And I'm seriously thinking about not this time, just continuing with this because it does everything I need it to do.
Right.
But of course, the newer ones that they've come up with.
This little piggy.
The S10 has an SD card slot. I'm probably I still got the V10. Yeah, Mike. That it's not a bad phone. It's got a good camera in it, and it certainly has enough processing power. I think.
Well, the thing about this phone is the battery is proprietary. You can't open this.
Well, they're all that way now. None of them have replaceable batteries, and that's the thing that generally starts it. But this thing, I've been using this all day for everything, watching YouTube videos, broadcasting to my TVs, and I started at 6:30 this morning, and I still got 67% battery. So the battery in this thing is still hanging in there.
Still got this thing really holds its battery too. Oh, and the good thing, the company I work for starting last week, they're letting us listen to music on our phones again. Hallelujah! Now
Wow.
I would be like
What a concession they're making, letting you listen to music. Yeah.
yeah, because what was happening is we had some yahoos that were texting during work. And
God
forbid.
God forbid.
Chatting, and it's like so they ruined it for the rest of us, and now they're letting us listen to the radio. So, can you guess what kinds of things I'm listening to on my phone?
Well, both. You're probably listening to both kinds of music, country and Western.
No, I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to talk radio.
Oh, are you? Oh, God, don't let them find that out. Not only will they fire you, but they'll hang you from a tree upside down.
Well, I can have one headphone in.
Ah.
Yeah. So but it doesn't bother anybody. So I listen to Hugh Hewitt, and then I listen to Rush Limbaugh, And then the rest of the day, I listened to Mandy Connell, who used to be in Florida.
I don't know who that is. I know who
Yeah,
the other ones are, but I don't know who that one is.
the conservative talk show host. She's actually a libertarian, but she started in Fort Myers, Florida, and then she went up to Louisville, Kentucky. She was there for a long, long time. And then she came to Denver about 3 or 4 years ago, and she was at one station. Then they just brought her to the 50,000-watt 12-volt of the Rockies, KOA.
I can't hear you, Art. You're muted. No, very low volume.
Oh, I see what happened. There we
Yeah,
go.
once you're full with that echo, you screwed yourself.
The 50,000-watt blowtorch of the Rockies, KOA radio. Yeah, the volume knob is right next to it, so I guess I accidentally bumped into that. Okay.
There we go.
So, yeah. So she's got the noon to 3 o'clock slot, and she's pretty good. And in the morning, I listen to Peter Boyles. He's over at the other station. And he's supposed to be a conservative, but he's a big Bush hater. Oh, God, he goes on. And whenever I hear him go on a rant about the Bushes, I throw my headphones off and say, screw you.
I can't, I used to listen to all that stuff. I used to listen to Rush in the afternoon and watch Dan Bongino's stuff, and I just turned it all off.
Right.
They're not telling me a thing that I don't know already. They're preaching to the choir. I already know the whole story of all the hoaxes and frauds, and so I can't watch Sean Hannity and all those guys, Tucker Carlson, all those guys. I can't watch them anymore because it's like watching the same movie over and over and over again. It's boring the hell out of me. Yeah. And there's nothing I can do about it. And, except your blood pressure goes up because so I just stopped. I decided one day, that's it. I've had enough of this. And
when they took away we couldn't listen to CDs. We couldn't listen to, those little iPods that had, music that's downloaded on it. They did that about 2 or 3 years ago. And
where, at work?
Yeah, at work. And then we got stuck listening to Muzak. Oh, God.
Oh, elevator music.
Now the stuff they've got is more contemporary. It's not that old. It's like, I like Shania Twain, but, I heard it. It's the same stuff that I heard 10 years ago.
How many people work there?
Well, I think we're down to probably about 150.
So it's big company. It's not like a little dental lab where you got 4 people or something like that.
Hey, we got another panelist coming in. Let's welcome Chris Hope.
Oh, Chris Hope.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Well, I just got off the lawnmower and I seen where Artie sent me a link, so I thought I'd pop in right quick.
Good. Hot enough out there mowing the grass?
Well, I waited till 6 o'clock to start, so I got in the house about 2, and I said, well, I'm gonna wait a little while, and it's not bad. It's clouded up now.
So you got the sprinkler running behind you?
Yeah, I got me. I still got a few tomatoes and squash and some cantaloupe making, so I'm gonna try to keep it going a little while longer.
Cool. Well, good to see you.
When you get
Chris.
your new drone, Art? I'm sorry, Mitch.
I said it's good to see you.
Yeah, yes, sir. You too. I can't get on your live streams. I can't get home soon enough.
Oh, okay. I should get the new drone tomorrow. Sean's coming down here tomorrow.
Is he going to put a bow on it for you?
We shall see.
He ought to he needs to put a long string on it for him.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
I'll give him a week, Chris. I'll give him a week, maybe 10 days tops before he loses this one, too. What do you think?
That's 2 and 6 months, right?
I'm telling you, man, it's like a new record.
Pick on Art Day. It wasn't Sean's fault. It was your fault.
Me? I wasn't flying it.
But you let him fly. See, that's the problem.
Oh, there you go.
So it's not Sean's fault. It's all Art's fault.
Okay, so I gotta give Jim Tanner the link. Yeah, one of the guys that I follow, he's out of the Philippines, and he'll be in the chat hopefully. So
all right, well, as long as you got some people coming in to keep you busy, Art, I'm gonna bug on out after a couple hours.
All right, well, thank you, Mitch, for coming. I will see you tomorrow
night. Always fun, always a pleasure. Good to see you, Chris. And tomorrow night I'm on later, so you Sunday night 8:00. So
yeah,
I'll see what I can do, man.
Yeah, stop on by. All right, everybody in the chat. Thanks for putting up with me, and I will see you the next time. Now, how do I get out of here?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh. Yeah, I can't see the chat, Art. So hello, everybody in the chat. I know the regulars
are here. Well, we got a whole bunch of people, and I think James Tanner from my PI Dream should be in the chat pretty soon. Here, we'll say hi to him. He's got an awesome channel. He's got over 30,000 subscribers. I've been watching him almost from the beginning. His channel is about 3.5 years old right now, and basically his channel started out as a guy, an expat living in the Philippines, building a home there. So you got to see how they build a home in the Philippines, and I started watching that, and I just got hooked on it. And he's got a great channel. So you folks in the chat, check this guy out. His name is James Tanner, my PI Dream. And right now he does a lot of DIY projects around the house. His house is all completed, and you ought to see his backyard. He's got fruit trees growing. He's got papaya. He's got bananas. He's got pineapple, and then he's got a small raised bed garden where he's got all his veggies going there. And he's a droner too. He's got a Phantom 4 Pro. I don't think it's the V2. I think it's the one prior to that. And his drone shots are just out of this world. Just
cool.
Really good. He's the guy that was on, I think he was on Ken's show and Greg Kunert's show when he did the flight out to Lake Taal, which is where the volcano erupted earlier this year.
Right.
So,
I remember that.
So, and Jimmy J just jumped in. Welcome to the show, Jimmy J.
I can't do a sound effect. Bunch of car horns.
So, you missed it. I went fishing earlier today, caught a couple carp, and when I landed the big one, while I was getting the hook out, the coyotes were going crazy. They were howling, and I listened to the video. When I downloaded it, you could hear them howling. So I'm going to keep that in the video when I upload it tonight. Yeah, so James says he's got a Fan4 Pro plus its own controller. No need for the phone viewer, which is cool.
Yes, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, I was up here one day, up here at the place, and I caught some coyotes yipping. They having a little party, and I kept it. It's a pretty cool piece of footage to have throw in from time to time.
Yep. I mean, it just sounded like I was surrounded by coyotes. And wow. And
it's a little early. Probably another 30, 45 minutes. They'll start yipping up here in a little bit.
Right. Yeah, James. Here's the story about my drone. I have a Mavic Air, or I had a Mavic Air, and one of our droners that's in the drone community, Sean Oz, the world of Sean Oz, that's his channel. He came down from Dillon, Colorado we did a collab, and he was actually here in studio during the show. And after the show, we were going to go out flying, and we were going to compare the Mavic Air to the Mavic Air 2. Well, I was flying my Mavic Air. We went to Lake Arbor, which is really close to my house. And I flew the length of the lake and I was coming back, and I used the return to home. And it was acting up, and it was giving me some error messages. And so what I did is I stopped the return to home, and I made sure that it was over land. And Sean, I showed it to Sean, and he was going to show me the map feature, which is down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. And you could blow that up, and you could see where your drone is. And so he was proceeding to bring the drone in. Well, you see, with the Mavic Air 2, they use a different app than the Mavic Air, because I'm using the Go 4 app, which is probably similar to what you're. Speaking of the devil, we got Sean Oz in the studio. Welcome, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
What's up?
So anyway, James, this is the guy. That's the guy. He down there. He lost the drone.
Oh, I came just at the wrong time. Oh no!
So
I only got about 10 minutes, Art.
Okay. So what happened was, since there's two different apps he was using on his app, because he's so used to flying the Mavic Air 2, that the range and altitude are switched. So he thought it was 10 feet away and 300 feet up. And
How did I join the show again?
It was 10 feet above the lake and 300 feet away. So
Well, Art, I studied your video clip you sent me a little bit more. And
right.
I'm about to make myself seem even more like a dumbass.
Uh-oh.
I actually started at 60 feet up, and then it was 10 feet, and then it was negative 11. But when I first started messing around with it, I was actually thought I was 60 feet out, obviously, because then I just do a dive, but I thought it was 350 up, and I'm bringing it down, and you can see the distance. Well, what I thought was the distance getting smaller when that was, and vice versa. But yeah.
I already told him, Sean, it wasn't your fault.
What's that, Chris?
I told him it wasn't your fault. It was his fault for letting you fly.
I mean, if you want to get technical, but no, I mean, it's my fault. I'm typically a pretty good pilot. I fly over water all the time. Like literally 90% of the time I fly over water. It's just
you got Lake Dillon there, and that's a huge lake.
Yeah, and I fly over it constantly, very low to it as well.
Yep,
the problem is mid-flight. I learned something from it. Not to come in cocky as if you're this awesome pilot, no matter how good you are or what you can achieve. Always come in humble. I was trying to teach him something, and for some damn reason, I didn't. Like, usually, if I take over something, I'll take the yaw and just spin it 360 degrees, figure out where the hell I'm at, what's actually happening, and I just assumed that's where I screwed up. I assumed I made an ass out of me and me.
Yeah,
not Art. I didn't make an ass out of Art. Art scored on this thing, man, where I'm driving down there tomorrow to meet him and bring him the Autel Evo. So fingers crossed he loves it.
Well, I think I will, because it's gotten a similar protocol to the OcuSync, which I think that'll be a really big plus. Plus, it's got a much better camera to it.
The camera is really nice on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got sort of OcuSync 1, kind of something similar.
Okay, right.
It's not quite as good as OcuSync 2. I do have a buddy that got 4 miles with his.
Wow.
That doesn't mean you should do that, Art.
No. I'm not going to do that.
But it helps know that if the signal's that strong, in theory, where you live, it should be a much better signal than using a Wi-Fi based drone.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things about the Mavic Air, and you probably already know this because you have one, that you get a lot of signal interference. You get a lot of air, messages saying aircraft interference, in your signal, and you just you get that pucker factor, and you're like, and then you look at the video or the photo that you see in the thing, and I'm like, okay, at least it's not going straight down, or it's not flying away. So
yeah, I've even up here in the mountains, my Air would get a lot of signal interference. Although I don't know if you guys saw, but I did like an Air 1 versus an Air 2 distance test.
Right.
Over the lake.
Yeah.
And my Air killed it that day. Like, I've never gone that far. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm going to make this video and show how it maybe goes 4,000 if I'm lucky. 2,000 is usually the most it gets before I start getting all kinds of choppiness. And it went, I think, 6,000 to 9,000 that day.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's plenty far. I mean, honestly, the Air is so damn small. I could say that I could see a speck, but if I saw something that was a speck just angled just right, if you turn away and look back, it's really hard to relocate your drone once it gets past even 1,500 feet, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. James, what I would suggest, look into the Mavic Air 2, because, since you travel, he still has a home in the States, in South Carolina. And that might be more travel friendly, or go with the Mavic 2 Pro. I don't know. Should you get the Zoom, or should you just get the regular?
I prefer the Zoom over the Pro.
Okay.
I have a few buddies of mine that say the same thing. If you're doing it mainly for video, the Zoom opens up a whole new world of how you can create and be creative with it. With the Pro, it's just like any other drone, just with a high rate camera. Yeah. If you're doing a lot of photography, the Pro is the way to go over the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Art.
So, yes, Chris?
I'm going to cut out, man. I'm going to go to the house, clean up, and go get a bite to eat, man.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Chris. Always great having you.
Oh, you bet, man. Thanks for inviting. Sean, take care, buddy.
Good seeing you, Chris.
You too, bud. We'll see y'all. Take care in the chat.
James, in the future, we got to have you back on the show. Maybe you could be part of the panel here. because it is 7 a.m. over there in the Philippines. No, actually, it's 9 a.m. right now there in the Philippines. So go check out
how
his
does the audio sound, Art?
What about the audio?
Oh, I don't know if I have it set up right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Oh no, I do. Okay, yeah, my mic should sound better than it normally does. Does it?
Okay.
I've been working on a new audio setup for my own thing. And you know the little thing you bought that I saw at your house? I found it online for $49. So I bought one.
Okay. The little parrot sumo.
No, the your little audio Tascam mixer.
Oh yes.
Yep, bought one of those, and then the day after, the one that I've been waiting since March was released. They restocked it, and now I ordered that one too.
Okay,
Also,
cool.
I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this mixer is I've got this extra cable, and I can hook it up to my phone, and I've got an app with all the sound effects on it.
Oh, nice.
And you get do it that way, and then it's got you saw it's got the 3 buttons, and you can actually set those up with the different sound effects. And I have the
This is what I've got, Art.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you got.
This has got 245 sound effects. Well, not
Oh,
sound effects, but vocal effects.
Oh, cool.
So you can do, weird stuff that it's meant for vocals for like bands and singing and stuff.
And this is what I got. I got
all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, and let's see what else. Oh, I could do. What can I do? Oh, I could change it to where I could do the deep voice. I could do chopper. I could do. I could change it on here. What else do I got on here? Oh, I could do chopper, radio, echo, mail. Yeah. And then
but it's not. Oh, let me turn that off. Hold on. It's not like you want to use that just for the show all the time, because it's great for music and stuff. But that's why I ordered this other one, which I might have. I'll show you. I'll hopefully in the next week or so I'll have this whole room reset up a little bit better for live stuff.
Cool.
I got a new mic coming in. I got all kinds of stuff. This is my old band mic. This thing is seen some serious stages and crazy nights.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this guy here is a newer mic.
Oh, was that not the one you had the other day when I was there?
No, newer. NEE.
Oh, gotcha.
WER. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I just ordered a Shure also, which is.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah. I got to get some new headphones. And my dumbass ordered a regular HDMI cable instead of a mini to a regular.
Right.
I ordered the stuff to make. Well, that's way back there, but I got my Canon camera, so I'm going to use a real proper camera too. So I'm going to use a video signal too.
Well, James, he uses a laptop, so he's using the camera off the laptop. If he could get like what I'm using is a Logitech. I think it's a 922.
And that's a great camera for being a webcam.
It's 1080p, and look at how sharp. I mean, I'm making the big bucks. I mean, look at my living room here. I got a grand piano and a fireplace. I'm living it up here, but it's not like your house, James, where you got a really nice digs there in the Philippines that he designed and built his own home in the Philippines, where the garage is in the basement, where you come around the front and you go down below ground, and there's the doors, and you go in there. He's got a home entertainment center there, and he's down the basement, and he's got a tiki bar down in there. You ought to check out his channel. It's really cool.
Crazy. Oops, sorry, I forgot it. Got to turn this. Somebody wanted to hear the auto tune. This is the Kanye West auto tune. And Art, let me tell you. Let me turn this off. Just real quick, the story behind this particular unit. A friend of mine actually is a producer, a music producer. He's won Grammys and stuff, and he works with a lot of hip hop R&B guys. And these guys have so much money burning holes in their pocket. When they're done, they just get rid of all their stuff because they all ship out. They come in there, they do their stuff, record their album when they're done. Some of their stuff goes back home with them. Some of them, they just leave and go, we're done with it. Blah, get rid of it. And he shipped me this. And this
Cool.
This is actually one that was used with Kanye and a few other artists. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Not that makes any difference. The damn thing works the same either which way, but it's got a little piece of history behind it.
Yeah.
That's sort of neat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to that crap myself, but it's still neat. But yeah, I've got to get going here in about 5 minutes myself.
Yeah, I'm about ready to shut the show down. I'm getting a little hungry here.
I thought I'd run in. I saw your invite and see if I could still catch you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning and get some flying in.
I've got your number, so I'll text
Cool.
you or shoot you.
You'll be here at 10:30.
Okay. What?
10:30.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to leave the house around 9ish, so that should get me at your house, give or take 10:30.
Oh, cool. So, okay.
Or we can.
Yeah, we'll figure out something where to go. Yeah.
I'm going to bring a swimsuit just in case we decide to try to find.
Okay. All right, we can do that. Yeah, I got a fishing net in my car, so.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for having me. I'm going to jet out of here. Everyone.
All right. Well, thanks again for stopping by, and you have a great evening. See you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we'll get rid of Sean. All right. Well, James, thanks for stopping by. You were just one of a few Philippine channels that stopped in. We had Margie was here, Margie Idala, she was here, and then there were a couple other Philippine channels that came in. So yeah, I've got a worldwide show here. I've got guys from Ireland and Glenn who's Thunderbird 6. He's from Australia. So we get guys all over the place. You know what'd be cool is if I could get people from South America or Russia. That'd be cool. So anyway, everybody, James, Philip, Agent K, the Four-Eyed Canine, Tom Ten Toes, thanks for stopping by. James, I will check out your latest video tonight, and you have a great Sunday down there in the Philippines. Take care, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.